Berlin said in the press conference, he's having to repeat the communications twice a lot of the time in English and in Chinese so that everybody on the team's on the same page. That's going to introduce delays, and it was an unusual position anyway for Magnum to be taking that fight.
The pistol round secured, deep OMEN smoke. Magnum has to body check a lot of this. Space really, there was some danger there, but clears out towards mid, knowing that nobody's lurking.
And those lurks are going to be a pretty important part of how FPX creates threats on the attack side. Smokes from Lysor and Berlin need to be dealt with. And sometimes that's going to require face checking, and when there's opponents hiding inside smokes, that's a great way for teams to get upset wins.
Yeah, here we go. Offload into util here with a dizzy. Play's not been
a little labored there from the right early on. And now FPX, first round where they can do some serious damage after the pistol. 5 Vandals facing off against KC, who have 3 Bulldogs online as well.
Turret out.
Clear weaponry advantage for FPX, especially down these longer angles, so they might want to take over towards B. And defaulting the Viper wall, A, at the start of this round. Not quite the same as they did on the pistol, because this time we've got that Viper orb coming down mid too.
Does have that threat of
who's gonna win, guys?
through into mid.
Hello everybody.
Love to set their sights onto a bonus round conversion. As you said, longer fights to be taken with the rifles of FPX, and they're cautious just at the beginning initially here. Don't want to run into things. OMEN smoke now propped up, will divide up the site and allow them to start to take a bit more of that space once they clear through the appropriate positions. But we're almost down to a minute on the clock.
And they haven't created too many threats in mid either.
Almost betrayed there by the ponytail, but Shin gets away with it.
And Berlin with nobody there to try to support. The IGL gets picked off with no advantage, no possibility of a trade, no information even as to where Shin and Martin could have repositioned to. As FPX come back in here, they're going to have to use these flashes, the Dizzy, just to try to figure out where those players on defensive A would have gone.
Yeah, and it orchestrates kind of exactly where these FPX players are going. Now it really does feel like it's going to be landing into an A hit. Shin,
it's a great timing on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, for the precise... Now it really does feel like it's going to be landing into an A hit. Shin,
it's a great timing on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, for the precisely right moment in the raid. Flash over the top, it's going to be going straight through the gap at the top there. Good connection. Martin willing to take the fight. The transfer damage done, but no kill. In fact, that's all life here, just leading the charge for the rest of his team. Is there only going to be clean up onto Shin eventually?
Very weak.
12 seconds, and yeah, life is weak. Pops the ult off. Might be able to get something going with this one. At least needs one more kill for it. Nobody watching. There it is. He'll back up. Needs to get the plan down. 4 seconds. Taps. Taps. Force it into the 1v1. It's the only win condition for life, and time is born and played. Frantic in the minute, minute moments. I mean, minutia making the difference there.
That's a wild one for FPX to not convert, honestly. The spray from Martin was really labored, a little similar to Narrate when we saw him with the Bulldog in round 2.
10 seconds left.
But how Magnum gets past there without Life being able to get the kill.
That's crazy, dude.
Life whiffing on the spray means that Autumn goes down. And Life unable to convert in the 1v1 as well. He decided to go for that, the duel instead of just sticking the plant.
Round.
That's a tragedy for FPX early on.
KC will be definitely gonna beating the
Knocks the economy down a peg or two, so
I'm
working with
pulling,
some
boys.
weaker weaponry.
This map is chosen by FPX by
the most, I think, of this Guardian purchase.
It looks fairly explosive here over towards B. Having that ult online, it would be a really large investment early on before you've managed to create a pick for yourself.
Smoke's finally back online now to just cut off sections onto the site. Snake bites and mollies just in case they want to press the advantage and push towards the back of the site. But it's just been held for control here. Karma Core happy to play this retake.
A lot of focus being put on that angle where Magnum managed to pick up 2 on the pistol. A weak spot, perhaps.
We'll see now. There's Wingman. That's going to be spotting out a player or two. Berlin. Let's get the initial kill, but not enough to get the follow-up here. But down below the bridge, where's the expectation of it? Narrate, he was dropping down, but not enough bullets in the clip to really finish him off. 3v3 shots, Life regaining the advantage potentially there. It's traded back and forth. It's Narate versus Ayang. Narate comes up with the goods. Rifle in his hands to get the job done.
And plenty of time left on the clock too. That one had danger in it. It absolutely did. But Karmine Corp still managed to forge their way up to 4. FPX deciding not to invest Ayang's ultimate into that round, where perhaps, you know, it could have made the difference. It did end up being fairly close. Frankly, if Autumn even gets that kill, the round is looking really dodgy. I gotta say, while Karmine Corp are up 4-0 here, this is not the same level of clinical play that we saw from them in EMEA when they were making that run. There's a lot of conversation about, because we've seen so many unexpected teams make it to Masters Madrid, with so many rookie players as well ascending to this premier level of the game, are people going to adapt to the stage quickly? If you have some nerves, how do you play through it? It feels like it's a little touch and go at the moment for Karmine Corp, but enough to be able to get them over the line in these rounds. And similar nerves on the other side for FPX. You've got to remember, FPX are a team, this is their 3rd time getting to a global event. They've only ever been able to take 1 map at a global event before, and that was against the old Karmine Corp when they played first time at Lock-In. It was a 2-1 victory in favor of Karmine Corp, and that was the old, you know, Melons lineup. That wasn't the Madrid clean, clinical Karmine Corp that we've come to expect after their running kickoff.
It's well-honed squad, and you know, to just touch on
this is very great match
as well. You know, maybe not an experience rearing its head for some of the players.
KC 0-4.
Karmine Corp looking like one of the youngest rosters I think that we've got coming into Madrid.
They are, yeah.
Maybe that does showcase. Of course, some of them do have that international experience.
They do, and you know, you see Magnum up there towards the top, managed to find that hole in the pistol round, and has been very consistent so far on the defense side for his team. So we get to see another rifle round here, starting to get up towards some big ultimates too. Narate and Magnum's ults in particular are going to be excellent on the retake, as Narate takes first contact and wants to hunt for more.
He's not scared, is he?
No, Shin was holding up towards the belt, so he had angles covered. Martin's crosshair placement looked like it might have been off for just a moment as Ayang's head poking below, but I don't believe they caught any.
Complete, jaldi.
Any whiff of the jet stuck in that corner. I
Guys,
say
now
stuck.
quality will be definitely
Hiding. He's got the
starting
dash,
a trap.
To get out. Yeah, it's a lovely position.
Dude, what
Play
is going on?
FPX didn't quite like what they were seeing, just from cutting the noise there. They show a bit of that presence just initially, now making their way over towards B. Contact reclear, is that what's going to be called?
Ah, no.
Here.
Certainly looks like it. The same kind of B end with that double Omen smoke setup that we've seen from FPX in a few rounds so far.
All the util combined together. Unfortunate for Life Day. Will fall just through the smoke as it was propped up, bloomed and blossomed, but FPX keen to still play this one. Maybe a bit more aggressively as well. Look at the position of some of these players. Berlin taking a peek. Out towards Kitchen, expected though. Now you see it, Thrash exchanged. Dropping down onto either side. Entertainment potentially there. Looks like it, yeah, Berlin. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and now positioning, being swarmed and approached from every possible angle. I saw, realizing now that really has to give it up. Was on that mid position. He was the insurance policy, but now has to save that rifle.
Gutting.
क्या dude, ये क्या हो रहा है?
Before.
Be able to receive this. Now, Dizzy wasn't collected over towards B to clear it, so they don't even have that util to clear this angle. Up top though, yeah, crosshair placement. You got to take a gamble if you play in that spot. It could come from two different directions, so gambling incorrectly there. Life is the one to capitalize.
Right now.
Magnum though, still with ultimate. How does FPX deal with that?
Down with a wingman, clears out a bit of the site. Now the plan online. Here's the lockdown.
Oh, yeah, denied from even going for that.
They can't go for the plant. Time. They have to fight this one. FPX have to make a call to do so, but now detainment. It's going to be happening anytime soon. This is a round basically done and dusted. Online there with a res. Magnum back into the fight.
What the hell is going on?
3 versus 3, but with time like this, I mean, there's just no chance. You can kill everybody. It's not there for FPX.
And a complete tactical outplay there by KC. They're thinking ahead to, in terms of the ultimates that they have available, it's very clear that that lockdown is going to get used. And FPX didn't come up with a game plan quickly enough to try to challenge it before it went down, didn't have a game plan to try to increase the tempo, and I think we're just expecting to get the plant for free. They're thinking, all right, KC, they've been playing retake this entire time. They're just going to use lockdown, we're going to be able to play the plant. And Aeon could not get that spike down.
Yeah. I love to see this.
The overall game plan of Carmine Court, just fundamentally, is fantastic as well. Been playing super far back on B, almost conditioning that they've got nobody playing towards B main or towards yellow whatsoever, and then they're playing these one-and-done angles towards A. I mean, yes, Martin ended up falling, but they've just been doing such a fantastic job. And like you said, you know, too delayed in terms of just thinking about the game plans. Carmine Court one step ahead.
This is also the second timeout for FPX, called already. So if we, you know, framing this in the context of FPX trying to get this revenge matchup against a Carmine Court that's retooled so heavily, looking for a potential good beginning to Madrid, this is a disaster. They had their chances early on in some of these rounds, but the later that this is going, the less and less chance it looks like they're getting as Carmine Court polish things up a little and get comfortable, get into the groove. Down 0-6 without any timeouts remaining. If they don't end up winning this rifle round that we're about to watch, it's a disaster zone.
It could be dire.
I mean, they are quite literally running their heads into a brick blue wall right now. They cannot find a way through.
Now, are they going to get conditioned? You can see elements of it from Carmine Court again. Like I was saying before, they weren't playing anybody up close towards B. They've got Martin with an op now. He's playing in this spot. Carmine Court, I think, are hoping now that FPX make the decision to start contacting into B. Dizzy broken. Martin can now play onto the angle. It's watched, but the shot missed and go to wide.
But they haven't heard the dash. They know that Martin has not left that in a hurry. There they hear the shot from the operator, and Martin's going to bait that out, make it feel like he's still there, and try to rotate to anticipate this attack side rotate that Berlin is calling.
Yeah, and he is. He's already called it for the rotation. The troops on the move. And guess what, Martin? Again, one step ahead. Like you said, still has the dash in his back pocket. Didn't end up using it to escape.
A lot of flashes that he has to dodge here, though. Leah, Dizzy, both. Broken, Narrate with a pick.
I mean, Narrate just back towards rafters there. Dizzy also returning as well, getting the acknowledgement that his play is there. Now there's 45 seconds left. Could pivot into a different direction if you want to, but FPX looking a bit indecisive. Just a pause in the play. Now the power. Paranoia sent flying here, but again, no connections. Martin towards the back, trying to go wide. Here with a Dizzy. Narrate is on one, man. He's on one. Almost there for the ace, but 4 kills eventually shut down in the end, but 7-0. It's a scoreline we're looking like. The round differential is immense right now, and you're truly seeing it. I mean, we said on paper it was going to look like one of our more one-sided matchups, but Karman Corp, in almost just every element of the game right now, they're ahead of it.
And then just destroying them. Kakuga said on the desk, trying to break the Leah and the Dizzy in one go. Narrate's like, yeah, bet. Just rinses them both before FPX can use them to get into the site, and then swings around for 4 kills afterwards. FPX are getting pasted. And I think it's a really interesting idea, right? This is one of our most one-sided matchups you could possibly see at the tournament on paper. But what does the parity look like? Everybody was saying, you know, anyone can win Madrid. There are chances for even these teams to be able to make upsets.
Even Magnum himself, you know, coming into this, they're not going to make a mistake with prior teams. You know, maybe they turn up to these international tournaments, they expect to have a freebie, an opening match that just is so one-sided, but of course still showing him respect.
Absolutely. Yeah, Magnum said, quote, if I had to rate FPX in terms of macro, I think they have a lot of gaps. And then he said, but it's Valorant. Anyone can lose. Martin, under pressure though.
Yeah, Dizzy in his face though, it does fade away. He's just absolutely caught the timing still. Autumn will shut down a counterpart. Damage number, no kill collected. Smokes at some point surely going to be fading. How are they going to get this spike down? They really don't have any options or tools, but there we go.
That's a huge one.
Yep, a gap available with that op drop down. Autumn picks it up, acquiring that upgrade. Now I can really just see if he can hunt for any more sort of kills. Now this is a player advantage for FPX. Question is now, how do Karman Corp approach it? Dizzy round to the back along with the molly. Players all over the place. Thrash to lead the charge. Entertainment there. Shin round to the side, but doesn't expect Berlin. And there it is. Okay, a round on the board for FPX. Thrifty win.
And that one basically set up by Autumn getting into a nice spot. Martin has been caught out in a number of these more aggressive positions. And this is the opening. He had a chance trying to take the timing, but then Autumn also finding this pick onto Tamashi over in Snowman. That sets up the player advantage. And FPX are finally able to capitalize and bring around to themselves. Can they work this into a little bit of momentum and make it less of a one-sided matchup?
They would love to. Now, back into the action, you're seeing it. Line in the sand drawn in terms of the skirmish.
Berlin has the
He's got
operator.
the operator, yeah. I mean, he's TP close.
Yeah, of course your IGL Omen has the op. Angel emote.
Now an attempt for them to try and get themselves into the side wall. Definitely impeding them. Dash to the top here, Dizzy. In their faces, everybody. Not able to see really anything at all, but FPX granted the site now. So, plans online for them. In a forward position here, playing inside the pit. This is really going to test Chemical once more, especially with Autumn ripping off heads. And towards the back of the site, just really impossible to clear this through. And here it is, momentum on the side of FPX. This is basically a done deal into the round. Look at it, second one on the board. Now maybe you can start to keep this going.
That's huge. Didn't even have to use all of the ultimates at their disposal. Still have the Thrash available for them in the next. And FPX using the pit to be able to establish much more aggressive post-plant positions. Put pressure on KC before they can get into retake spots. Look, Narrate's just flooding out heaven there thinking, yeah, they're going to give us this space for free. That's what they've done every other time. And FPX have brought the battle to them. Amazingly enough, those 2 rounds have actually been enough to knock down the economy of Carmichael. So we're not seeing a full buy here.
I think the money would be flourishing, but instead, okay. Okay. At least Martin has a rifle.
Here.
Really quite aggressive into mid.
Very aggressive. But Martin hasn't been able to do too much from these extremely aggressive positions. He's the danger in the round. The rest of KC mostly playing for a little bit of plant pressure and then the retake. Martin's been the dice that they roll to see whether he can find value. And this time, just missing the timing of FPX, who've all gone into B.
Clear and Dizzy all comboed up. Smokes to get himself into the deeper angle. Autumn, he's here this time. Not using that second smoke to block off this one. Autumn, he's got the operator. Aiming to lock this one down. 2 potential positions. Shin, he's taking out Berlin. Now Berlin's been playing in that angle all the time, honestly. Most of the time.
Yeah, and it's a spot where Autumn can't actually hold for Berlin to get into position. It's a bit of a freebie there, actually. Carmichael giving it. That's decent damage there, actually.
Yeah, diligence being shown with the util to clear through most of this.
KC have a wall to work with, but there's a Thrash on the other side. Martin, what a peek.
What a return! Ayang goes straight there. And here it is with a spray down of life. Wall can't save you from that one.
Great awareness from life. Adapting to what Carmichael have been doing, making sure that he's in a position where he's still going to be able to get picks over the
string of rounds, but we'll see. It's a new half now. Getting started with a pistol.
And it looks like there might be a clash in B main to begin this one very quickly. It's an
What the hell is going on? Dude, why this is not working? Come on, dude. Come on, my net. My internet. Come on, internet. You have to work so that we can enjoy.
Gonna be looking to do that.
surely,
Damage.
surely here the streaks are broken.
Bro,
We don't see another 7 in a row for KC, right?
what the heck is going on, man?
It's not even possible.
It's really not. I mean, at that point.
Brother, भाई यार क्यों नहीं चल रहा guys? This is not working. Why? Bros, you have to work, man.
You're in the map
Be done.
14-7.
Yeah, dusted. Maybe we get them to skirt.
What the heck, man? What the hell?
Rules. We'll do first to 16.
Bro, ये क्या हो रहा है यार? क्यों नहीं चल रहा है? Okay, just wait. Hold on. I am doing some changes. So just wait.
FPX, they'll really have.
Just wait. Just wait.
Army Corps find that.
That's outrageous. FPX had them cornered, caged up, no exits. Utility being used from the back as well. And Martin ducks, bobs, weaves and picks up 3.
You are joking.
How have they done
Nice.
that?
Now
I
guys,
mean,
we
the
can
first
enjoy
pick,
the
lovely. But then this kill before getting the dizzy. But then this kill before getting the dizzy. And then a jump push in the knife. Stand up now.
now we can enjoy the stream, guys.
All right, a bit of fire with these Army Corps players in their first time on the big Masters stage.
Getting heated.
Let's go. Let's enjoy the
From the FPX
match.
players here.
Everything
Ball
is
has made
fixed,
a
I
refire.
hope.
What
Everything is
a shot. Still
Fixed.
aggression showcased here
I
by
hope everything
Martin.
is going to be
His
fixed.
teammates are going to be there
Oh shit, my laptop.
with him. Got his back live. Live. What?
You see, KC have no idea that that was gonna happen. The nature of how FPX plays can catch teams off guard. But thus far, Martin, in the last round and this, has managed to bail his team out.
Oh my god, this time
Brilliant.
this will be
Nice
working.
out. No gun.
Oh shit.
Watch him for the
Yes, now
mid-aggression.
this is working now. Nice.
And
Come on,
A
chat,
Young,
to hit that
they should
like,
have
share,
some
sub, like,
idea
share,
was over
follow.
towards A earlier on. That dizzy
Your
was
brother is
used.
waiting for your love and support.
His shooting's been fairly good. The most likely outcome here is that he just goes down and gets the thrash online for the next. This game has been so streaky. There's only 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
I don't see how he's able to convert. And KC are going to be able to respond with 3 in a row after FPX got 7 to tie it up. Now, would you refer to this one as a back and forth game, Bren? Because technically, it's gone back.
This is
and then
awesome.
And now it's going back again.
Yeah. By the technical definition.
Yeah, but it really has not been competitive in the round-to-round basis.
No.
Very streaky.
To hit that
very streaky.
And also
Autumn's going to get an op online and try to peek under tube by the look of things. Would anticipate him just getting smoked off by Tamashi very early on, but we'll see.
Yeah, an early pick. Wow, okay. Tomzy, Thrash, used to see if they can cleave their way in through B main. Yang is open to the window here. Lurk timing could be brutal. Spots the head. Magnum is racing ahead, man. Doesn't want anything to do with this. Look at him. Ducking straight into the floor, maybe anticipating a repeat, but no, he's backing it away. In the meantime...
Yeah, speaking about repeats, Berlin in a player advantage situation again, FPX deciding to try to make the play to win the round. Unnecessary, for sure. And Berlin does get punished for it.
Verizon Life for Shin. He's going to play for this one. Portion of the wall broken, but that's all good.
Yeah, thankfully.
All good.
Thankfully, Autumn wasn't watching that again.
There's only 45 seconds left. Walking their way over towards A. Starting to get a move on, though. What util do they have to try and clear close? They are, I think, quite scared of the prospect. The life could be just in a one and done. Especially when he's playing Reyna. Does he see the head just onto belt there? Looks unlikely. Orb in his face.
30 seconds left.
Players approaching rapidly on the position. It's a double face as the orb goes down.
Only 20 seconds left here. No real utility as far as I can see for FPX to deny this one. Magnum is really far behind and has missed the timing.
Yeah, he has, but he's going to be making a call at least for his team here. Over to buy some time. Really wide face by Narrate. Claiming it. He's feeling it, man.
It's awesome. It's awesome. What a match by Cuz. Wow.
This is another situation where KC lost players early on in the round.
That's a crazy match.
They weren't expecting the op to be on that sideline. It is entirely possible for the Viper to throw that mid lineup without exposing any part of their body. But Autumn
hello, Yash bhai, kya haal hai?
at the beginning of the round.
Yes. Hello, Yash bhai, kaise ho aap?
Berlin ended up making a mistake when they were up, and it just opened the door for Narrate to take over.
Yash brother.
Narrate for Karmic Court.
How are you?
One of the North American imports over to EMEA has been lighting the world up.
Are you guys
He's been looking unbelievably good, but certainly one of those players that we don't know quite how they're going to perform when it gets to the Masters stage. Are the nerves going to be there? And Berlin goes walkabouts again in this round.
They just expect it. It's happened so many times now. They were doubled up. I mean, basically a high-low setup. One player crouched in front of the other, just waiting for the aggression.
Yeah, and it's very, very similar to what Berlin did in the previous round to lose them that player advantage situation. FPX have got to be careful. They've clearly got what it takes to be able to bring the game to Karmic Court. But this is giving me flashbacks of the finals they played in VCT, where they arguably should have beaten EDG, and they let so many of those advantages slip through their fingers. Here comes Ayan with the play again.
He's got a flash out in his hands, still gets one kill. Maybe setting up Autumn for success, but no, everybody cleaned up. Karmic Court.
My God, that's crazy.
Live and kicking with 3 of their players.
मैं सोच रहे हो इन्होंने FPX वालों ने ये मैप सेलेक्ट किया था FPX वालों ने कि भाई वो आइस बॉक्स पे जीतेंगे
not letting anything slip. Thrash there connects the taint.
Knife
Humiliation time on the grand stage. As Karmic Court up to 12.
Oh my God, KC भाई bully कर रही है यार.
For our first knife kill of Masters Madrid.
भाई KC बोल लो ना क्या सुन.
Do they really count when you've got the Thrasher Tain on them? I think it is the disrespect.
Carmine Corp and Fun Plus Phoenix नाम है. Carmine Clock and Carmine Corp and
this is very well dealt with by KC. You can still see some moments where they're not quite anticipating what FPX is going to go for. But for the majority,
knife kiya bhai, knife. वो चिल्लाते
for the majority, they have got this on lock. The anticipation of Berlin's push at the beginning of that round, and the way they executed was immaculate. They're looking for that
Guys,
punish
that like
again
share sub, like
onto
share
Tomaji.
follow, guys. Come on.
It's not there.
Not gonna get it.
Yeah, this time playing a little safer, doubling up with Magnum as well. KC 1 round away, 5 chances of converting.
Wow.
Keep it clean.
It's going to be their aim. Tucked to the corner, that's Life, avoiding the initial flash across from the ropes. Accurate enough to win that fight now, but dismiss towards the back now. Underneath Raph, there's plenty more players ready to try and fight in target-rich environment. Take your pick, take your time,
KC, not
son.
KFC.
This is you lighting the world on fire.
Yeah.
Holy.
What a
And he's on his feet
defense!
after that one too.
Why?
If the KC players are trying to keep him rooted in that seat,
Unexpected!
they've well and truly
Fun
failed in round
Express Phoenix
20.
के तरफ से एस आते हुए भाई
I mean, he's
unexpected.
the only player that's actually
What?
able to evade the way that
Guys.
KC are playing. Because he can get one
What
get out
the
and
fuck
pick the most
up?
awkward timings through all of their utility.
Oh, that's crazy! Why
Springs out of his seat,
unexpected?
almost knocking it off the stage.
भाई वही तो क्या
Feeling it.
एस मारा बंदे ने
Definitely
यार.
feeling it. Back into the fight.
भाई मैं चैट पढ़ने के लिए इधर ध्यान दे रहा हूँ.
Into the action. Calming core. Slow and steady.
भाई
It's their
what
approach to begin.
is my
They know how
god?
aggressively FPX are liking to play, and they do have both the duelist players. Dash still available. Dismiss there if Life gets a kill. Lots of exit strategies, but here we look at this. I mean, they're just holding. 4, it's still Life claims it.
He's on fire. Barely a shred of narrate poking out. Still manages to catch the headshot. Magnum's one away from having a massive ultimate, and they're sneaking around underneath them. Life goes for the re-clear.
It's a dizzy, still, it's traded.
What
Magnum is there.
cutie
Onto
pie.
the two there. Yang drops down, Dash is there. Martins finds it. Forwards now. After the lockdown, it's 2v2. This could be it to seal the map. What is going to be the answer from FPX?
Via pambare.
Looking out.
Holding,
Dombare,
hoping that they can punish, but no.
मैं तो पगला गया रे भाई.
Granted the kill. And
भाई
Berlin
यार
the
इतना
IGL.
क्रेजी
It's a
मारा ना मतलब
1v2.
मैं हिल गया भाई अंदर से ऐसे पूरा ऐसे क्या कहूँ मैं
Borderline
पूरा
to
हिल
keep
गया
his
यस
team
भाई.
in the map.
भाई इतना
Paranoia
क्रेजी मारा उसने ना मैं हिल
available.
गया भाई पूरा.
Smokes still there, wants to walk though. Into it, there was going to be a shorty ready and waiting.
भाई थोड़ा सा गाइस ना
Smoke used.
लोचा हो रहा है यार नहीं तो मैं ना पता क्या
Tap.
इसको
Force
थोड़ा
him out into
क्वालिटी
the
और
open.
इंक्रीज करके
No
दिखाता
easy
मैं.
fights, no easy exits. That is calming core.
भाई लग रहा था केसी
Sealing it
जीतेगी
up.
भाई
Nice
सिंगल
and
हैंडेडली
pretty for map
जीतेगी
number
भाई मेरे
one.
को लग रहा था डेफिनेटली.
13-8.
इसमें कोई दो राह नहीं भाई
Bizarre
केसी
opening
तो
to Masters Madrid, but it had some great
और अभी
moments.
जीत भी गया.
FPX 7 out of 8 of their rounds taken in a streak.
Yeah, absolutely. Was going to set it to a short break on the other side of things, of course. The continuation of the series don't go anywhere.
$2024 Valorant Madrid. कब स्टॉक हो गए? हेलो मेरा चिपका किसका चिपका? What the hello me? Hello. भाई फर्स्ट हाफ हो गया चैट. फर्स्ट हाफ हो चुका है. ये मास्टर मैड्रिड का फर्स्ट हाफ हो चुका है. नाउ सेकंड ये देखो. नाउ देखो 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 क्या ओपेर है. और गाइस कुछ बोलो यार अपने बारे में. FPX का रेना सोलो कैरी कर रहा था भाई. देखो सबका डिफरेंट है भाई. कभी कभी किसी का लक चलता है, कभी कभी किसी का नहीं चलता है. ला 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 ला. Ra pam param. Param para pararam pam param pararam pam param. Pararara na 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 na. क्या से क्या हो गया परंपरा परंपरे 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 परंपरा पररररररा पारंपरी। और कुछ बताओ यार चैट, यश भाई और बताएं कुछ। आप स्टिल यो अभी अभी हो आप इधर कि नहीं? कैसे देखो अपन तो यार फिलहाल इंतजार कीजिए। सॉरी मेंबरशिप नहीं ले पाया, थोड़ा मनी नहीं। अरे कोई बात नहीं यश भाई, इट्स ओके यार। आप आते हो यार, वॉच करते स्ट्रीम, उधरीच में भाई फिदा हो जाता है भाई, उधरीच में खो जाता है यार अपन उधरी भाई ऐसे। ओहो मजा आ जाता है। नो इश्यूज, जब होगा तब ले लेना ब्रो, नो प्रॉब्लम। ला 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 ना 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 ना। और जिंदगी एक सफर है सुहाना। ला 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 ना 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 ना। जी हाँ मैं हूँ दोस्तों आपका प्यारा ही प्यारा प्यारा दोस्ती हमारा ट्रांसेंडेंट गेमिंग। लाई ला लाई ला ला ना 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 ना। भाई लैपटॉप के इधर वो हो रहा है, मैड्रिड ओमेन कर रहा है गाइस। Going for the clutch in the 1v5 match. Yeah, why not, bro? Why not? Wow, this is the Madrid trophy, guys. This is the Madrid trophy. If you not know, I told you this is the Madrid trophy. We nasi तेरे बिना 2 रुपए की पेप्सी 5 भाव। ओ क्या भाई, क्या लिख रहे हो आप? Would you like to listen this?
I know people don't understand, but FPX pretty decent team. They're really strong gamers, and yeah, he just
क्या ही करोगे सुन के? भाई ये तो ऐसा सुना सुना लग रहा है यार। हैं भाई, ऐसा मेरे को लगा कि ये सुना सुना सा है। Why this? हैं ब्रो, कैसे कह रहे हो? शायरी हो जाए, बोले शायरी, बोले 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 हम पढ़ रहे हैं। आई मीन हाँ लिखे आप, हम पढ़ेंगे। गाइस देखो बीच में मिमी बैठी है गाइस, मिमी नाम है इसका, बीच वाले में येलो नीले वाले का। तुमको इनकी आवाज सुनने की है, ले सुन।
Eng was very right. FPX can shoot very hard. Like the rounds that Live was having, how they were just pushing onto them and doing this kind of things we were talking about before. How they thrive in the chaos. It is something that Casey had to overcome.
इरशाद करें।
Yeah, they
यश भाई
actually did. I
इरशाद
think they
इरशाद।
looked really good in that second half with their game
Guys,
plan
इसका
on
नाम
how
है
to
मिमी।
shut down the aggression that even on the defense is being brought out by
इसका नाम
FPX.
है
It's kind of
मिमी।
hard to get that initial bit of space and punish people who have pushed up when you only have that gecko. But I think they play around that one piece of utility, even though you can't combo it with another flash. very, very well. For me, that second half was a showcase of just how strong Casey's fundamentals are.
Yeah, and Mimi, let's take a look at round 18 because not many people can deal with K-Core's pressure, and unfortunately FPX couldn't do that either.
Yeah, not many, including FPX in this game, like you say. But this one was pretty cool for me, the way that KC are scaling together into this site, and also I think it's a showcase of how FPX's comp really does show some weakness. Running no Sentinel on this map means that if you're hard rotates, which you kind of need to when you have this initiator comp where you're trying to set up those combos. You leave gaps like this, and Magnum was just taking advantage of this.
Yeah, exactly. And if you combine it with a narrate that was extremely explosive and just going in for the kills, he said that he wanted to pick when he got to Madrid, so he's definitely doing so. And I love that we have this sass for him. We were talking about the versatility, the feeling comfortable, and I think that this was a perfect showing for him.
It absolutely was. He said he was just gonna swing everyone at this event, and you saw he did swing in this one. I think that when KC is willing to, in the late rounds, take a little bit of that risk and let him go crazy when he's feeling it is really good and adds an extra dynamic to this team.
I mean, this is the thing. He does this on Gecko. He will do this on Fade as we see him later. Which version of Narrate do you guys think is the final boss of the Narrate?
I really like his Gecko.
I'm on the Gecko train yet, but I'm a big fan of
It's so hard to play Gecko solo initiator. Yes. He does it so well.
Yeah, exactly. I think that he has a very good balance on how to support the team, how to go on those more aggressive plays, because he's the kind of player that can do it and will do it without shaking or having like second guesses. When we see him moving around the map and taking the right covers and making the right choices, everything is very well wired in his head. So I think that's why I like the Gecko, and also because he can just like...
You have to do the voice. Wait, also...
She's actually the voice actor.
Carnalito?
Yeah, can you please share that? Because I feel like it's a way better name than Wingman.
Carnalito, yeah. It's not even the Spanish one. It's in Latin America. They call it...
that we only call him that from now on.
I'm ready for it.
Carnalito!
भाई नया चीज सीखने को मिला है कैनालितो कहते हैं भाई इसको
Can you believe it? Warming up in the aim lab shoot around.
कैनालितो भाई गेको को तो मैं गेको के बच्चों को कैनालितो कहते हैं भाई.
You know the meme how it goes because he's able to perform EMEA on LAN, and it's great to see that Mimi he's also able to perform on a global stage already as well.
He just
aim lab practice हो रही है भाई.
He was good.
He was getting held back. He was getting held back.
It was actually
aim lab practice.
He is what your ranked
My
teammates
favorite
want
word,
to be.
Canalito.
He needed the right team, right?
Yeah.
He can probably.
Honestly, he needed egg. I think that there is a lot of similarities between the case of Narrate and some other players in KC. For example, Alpha Year. People might not remember, but there was this moment where Alpha Year was just 16, just picked up by Fnatic and just performing the way that he was because of the coach that he had. And probably in another environment, Alpha would not be what he is today. But going back to Narrate, love the fact that he's feeling this comfortable, that he has this sassy personality outside and inside the game, and he can bring it to the international stage.
He absolutely can. We've talked a lot about the coaches today, but I think you have to credit the IGLing of this team as well. Magnum played this team as well. Right at the very beginning, famous for the whole faded Sky Flash at the end of Reykjavik. But since then, he's been grinding down in Tier 2. He's a name that I think a lot of people had forgotten. But now he comes back in with this KC roster and is absolutely a pivotal part of this system they built. We saw some great adaptation and mid-rounding on that map, and I think you can credit a lot of that to this guy Magnum.
Yeah, this is the thing. People don't. People forget that he was never IGL before. He only started IGLing on this team. I also love a moment we had EMEA where N called attack pause when they were like 11-1 up, and he did that a lot back in Gander. And we asked him, why are you calling attack pause? And he's like, look, I want us to close out the game, and I heard Magnum make a call, and it was just the wrong call. I had to step in and be like, Magnum, look, I appreciate what you're doing, but you should not be doing that. You should be doing this. And he also said that as time went on, he's had to do that a lot less. His trusting Magnum has grown a lot over the kickoff period. And given the fact, I don't think they called a single timeout, right? I don't think.
No, I mean that's what Eng was saying. You're right. He was just
Magnum must have been saying all of the right. Many people might think, yeah, after you lose so many rounds in a row, why didn't you call a tech pause? Eng is hearing everything, and if he feels that the right calls are being made, and to every problem, they're over already thinking about to fix it for the next round, you don't really need to call that tech process. Do you think that your team is going to be a little bit thrown off the game? You don't want to interfere too much. You think that first attack pause was enough? Why do it again?
I think you also have to remember that those pauses also give your opponent a chance to talk to your coach. I think we've heard from like Mini before that sometimes he wouldn't call pauses because he trusts his IGL more than the opponent's IGL.
You're talking about Fnatic.
You were going to say he trusts the other coach more. I thought you were going to say that.
No. But it is something to think about always, of like, trusting your IGL. Once you build it up, it means you can save those pauses for that perfect moment. And I mean, right now, I don't think that game ever fully got out of hand for KC. They started losing those 3-4 rounds in a row, but the last round, they turn it back around, they fix it, and then go into the second half quite strong.
Yeah, and he didn't need to talk to his players, but his players were giving it on the server. Take a look at this. There's some trash talk from the last time.
काफी अलग है भाई. Insu.
So it's just Tomasi.
Tomasi, by the way, another youngster. If you remember seeing him last year in we had to do it. It was completely different, right? I think that the environment that they have created, how they are living everything on stage.
Tomasi,
So I watched some of the Carmen Core vlogs this week.
Did we get some Mew in from Martin already? Not yet?
No.
It will be there.
I really thought we could go a long time without bringing that up here.
No.
I'm disappointed we haven't seen it yet.
I'm disappointed in both of you, but what I'm not disappointed in is what I was saying with Tomezi being such a great emotional leader. But we're into the
Carmen Corp and FunPlus Phoenix
Carmen Corp, we saw them play the Fnatic comp and beat Fnatic. But for FPX, this is one of those maps where they pull out the chamber ban.
Yeah, exactly. Funny enough, even though KC has a very good record on this map, this has never been their choice. This is the first time that they actively choose this as their battleground. It was always like either the third map or something that other teams picked up for them in EMEA. Even with that, I think this is the map that shows perfectly and more exactly how good they are on the retakes and how the protocols are perfectly sharp, because of course with 3 sides things change, and they also change when you have a chamber on the other side. Not very popular in the EMEA.
Absolutely. This comp, beyond just the chamber, has a solo Gecko initiator, which I think is a lot harder to make work on this map. If you go for hard execs, that Dizzy gets broken, which honestly, map 1 KC was doing a great job at. If they can continue to do that, I think they can really punish this dive player. This is an opportunity for KC to close in 2.
Yeah, well, things are going to get a little bit harder for FPX here. It will be KC's map choice, and it's time to send it back to your casters.
Everything is done. Everything is done.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, let's get to it then. Map number 2.
Yes,
Carmen Corp versus FPX. I mean, listen, map 1 was an interesting one. Very streaky in terms of the rounds with Carmen Corp. You've got to expect these guys are phenomenal on Lotus. It's a map that they've taken many a strong team to. They look really primed for this map. They have a ton of great ideas. But now, how are they going to be dealing with FPX, especially life on the chamber? This guy has been a standout in the past, and now he's going to be looking to do a little bit more with smoke here. Haunts dealt with taking care of TP back with a rendezvous, but well, Lysol just trying to help out his teammate.
Yeah, bit of a strange decision actually, because Life already had the exit with the rendezvous. Just looking to try to find a timing. Now they're headed into Magnum's setup, where the turret is going to take contact. And this Viper wall, previously on this map,
और यहाँ पर डिजी का हमला होते हुए डिजी ने guys
see from Magnum set up here with an nano swarm. I mean, it's just to make sure they can't cross past the wall, buys time for the rotates.
Guys, अगर आप नए हैं चैनल में make sure आप स्ट्रीम को लाइक, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें.
They're not clearing the corner.
Let's go.
Snaps it back around again. They want to really just take the fight in the
What
back.
was the match?
Oh my! FPX. They're not messing around.
Why FPX? Why FunPlus Phoenix? FunPlus Phoenix. भाई इनकी तो दो है भाई. भाई मतलब क्या ये मैं क्या सोचेगा इसकी ये लोग एक दूसरे के मैप पे एक दूसरे को भाई मजा चखा रहे हैं. ऐसा कह सकते हो भाई? क्या भाई ओमेन बेचारा ओमेन भाई बहुत गंदा पिटा मैंने. समझ सकते हो यार.
Quite ready there for the aggression, at least the second one.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked like they were ready for the aggression.
What a match.
Narray is tucked into the corner. Has his
भाई देखो पहला जो पिस्टल राउंड है वो win by FPX.
And yeah, it's just the fact that Narray isn't able to hit the go shots to be able to pick up a couple of them there in that split second.
The first match is win by FunPlus
to your point,
Phoenix.
FPX pushing
Now we have
so
to
deep.
wait.
They were taking a fight against Shin and Spawn, basically.
और सेकंड राउंड कौन जीतेगा?
And if that's
KC
the
or
adaptation that they
FPX,
use going from map 1 to map 2,
who's gonna win
to
the
keep
next
trying to
round?
fight
This round,
Comic
second
Core at all
round.
times, never allow
After
them
the
to set up
pistol
for the
round,
retakes.
who's gonna
I
win?
think that's a very good strategic idea.
Now let's find out. Let's find out in this
Well,
match.
it really does.
And you said as well earlier, Brent, that Comic
guys
Core
have
have got
to
a lot of
wait.
experience on Lotus. They feel very comfortable there. The desk was talking about that too.
Let me
But
guys
they've also
improve
played
the.
mostly against more meta
Let me improve the quality.
compositions.
I
and
hope the
relying on
quality
having
is
a great
increased.
understanding of how those work, the timing.
I hope the quality is
the
increased, my
utility that
friends.
they throw. They had
The
very
quality
good
is increased
specific
or not? Tell me.
anti-strats in EMEA too. This FPX
I hope the
team
quality
does
is
not play
increased
conventional
now.
Valorant. No. And the composition shows it's going to be a little harder for KC to get a read on.
KC showed her hand, really, that the stack is over towards A.
Shit.
Forcing the pivot now even towards B.
Outlaw,
Having to stop
but
this.
he missed
I
the.
saw back position, almost asleep at the wheel there. Needs to call for reinforcements
ये
and
देखने
back
वाली
up
बात
here
है,
to try and play
who's gonna-
crossfire. Setup, Bulldog.
Okay, KC
Singing
down
true,
first.
finding their marks.
KC,
Very
4 people
wide
down,
face. The
and
second
by
shot of the
FPX
outlaw is enough
तो
to
by
shut that
mute
one
ले
down.
रही
So
है
should be very clean and
It's
clinical round here for
right
FPX.
KC
Second
और
one now for them.
FPS.
And it's
मतलब
also
भाई
close to
दोनों
getting
का
Ayoung's
क्या
ult online,
setting
so I would
रखी है?
assume he's going to try the chase. Berlin snipes it, steals it for his first ult point. Don't worry, we don't need the Gecko ult anyway, I suppose, as we head into the bonus round. It would have been nice to have it online. Still possible, of course. Ayoung might get it for post-plant here, with something like an ult or pick-up and a plant. KC, the war machine, starts to rumble. Tomashi picks up the Odin.
One enemy remaining.
This team as well, Comic Warbang lineups. I mean, you're seeing FPX as well take a turn with it as well, initially in the prior round, but now we're getting started. Just trying to punish that peak. You can hear the shoulder just sticking out of life. He goes for another one.
Very bold, very confident. He was dominating in the individual fights when it came to Icebox, so I can respect that level of confidence. But KC, punishing him there. And despite the fact that there were 3 players from FPX defaulting over towards Mound at the beginning of the round, they don't actually have any control there. Double smokes, and Ayoung's Dizzy has had to be used twice already in the round just for Mound control. So they're still 10 seconds away from using that in any kind of push into C.
Shin smokes as well. I mean, they jut out just far enough to really put the fear into FPX, wondering if there could be a player lurking and creeping. The door is going to be hit there with a switch. Now a call is made. Paranoia, Dizzy, everything offloaded all together. Shin is really in dire straits. He needs some help from the rest of his team. Dodging and juking side to side. How does he get the 1 kill eventually? Falling. Backing away here, Narrate, realizing he has to respect this one as well. Toss away his life, wants to play full,
pick the
retake the rest of
pace
his
to
team now.
fight with the
30 seconds left.
Actually denied there. That's a
FPX.
perfect placement of the nade, yeah. And a kill.
I mean, if anyone was going to go down, and I thought it would be Autumn on 30 health, but Lysol just tanks it. Maybe not hearing that in the moment.
Narate, despite the fact that he's spamming down, trying to get a second bite of the apple, taking out all of it, leaves it to Berlin. He's just got so much working against him. Berlin, hello. Here's your time to shine, but Tomasic shuts that one down right quick. So bonus round conversion not there, but he made it a hell of an expensive round. I mean, listen, only 1 player surviving.
Yeah.
KC.
What a match! What a
And when Lysol goes
round!
down
Guys,
to the
if
nade,
you
it
are new
looks
to
like
my
KC are
channel,
gonna
please
have
hit
their
that
pick
like,
of
share,
that one.
sub, like,
It's
share,
gonna be an
follow.
easy battle,
Like, share,
but Berlin
subscribe,
once
right now,
again
chat.
in a pretty similar manner to what he did in round
Wow,
13 on
30
Icebox.
seconds left.
That,
He's been able to get way more value from a position than you would expect.
FP,
Makes
yeah.
it very damaging for KC's opponent.
Wow. Now the next round will be started.
Martine is playing Judge Rays here at the front of B to start this round. FPX
It's
haven't been
lagging.
wandering close to B. But I wonder if they're going
This
to
is
try
the
to set up
4th
some
round.
kind of
Now
trap
we
here
have
on
to be
Mount.
guys careful कि कौन जीतेगा. The 4th
A
round.
chance of it.
Open the door, blast pack out, do something crazy with the Judge perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, Shin's position is playing really quite far forward
Who's
there.
gonna win the...
The
Has
problem
ways to
is,
get out.
the more space that you give them over
Fourth
towards
round.
A here, Brent, the more that you're going to allow Ayoung to get set up with the Thrash, push Magnum into uncomfortable positions, and get plants down on A. So,
भाई
this is,
यहाँ से
despite
spam
the fact there's
करने
a
पे
Killjoy
must
and an
by
Odin
bullet fire होती है भाई.
playing on
मतलब
the A
पूरा
side, this
ऐसे.
does look a little weak.
it is now. Crash.
और यहाँ पे रेडी हो चुका है गैको का और गैको के आगे किसी को कैच किया नहीं nothing no one catch by Gecko.
The plan down for Berlin. Unconventional plan spot. Post plan doesn't allow you to play from stairs to really try and spam that one down. It's actually corner. Heavy reliance on tree.
Lagging, dude.
See if that bites them here. Here's the initiation, the moves in with the judge, eventually shutting down that threat. Martin can't get anything done, but Carmine Core still there with the rifles. Off to the side, Autumn inside the smoke. The rate. Last player left standing.
Oh, nice.
It's 1v2, maybe even second
Yeah,
guessing
guys,
himself, wondering if he gets another one, could be
मतलब
played, but no,
narrate
now
का
making the
13
smarter
है
decision here, so
जिसका भी
saving
हमने
a rifle,
starting में
running away
दिखाया
with it, so FPX up to a third round.
He's saving right now.
Yeah, getting themselves into a really nice position. The thing that catches Carmine Core off guard there when they go for the retake are the unconventional swing timings from FPX. As soon as they hear the Paranoia double blast pack come out, FPX don't respect it, they swing into it. And that catches KC as they go to try to push off the back of the utility,
matches going on right
taking
now.
gunfights at unfavorable timings.
FPX win 3 rounds right now, and
just manages to catch this one. And you also have Autumn coming out through the smoke. Perfect timing to try to catch Martin in the back. The damage that they did on the bonus, capitalizing there, and leading to a really nice beginning to this map from FPX.
That's fantastic. And keep this one going as well. Listen, generate the ultimates, keep using them to just snowball your way forwards. I think the more rounds as well that FPX get and start accruing is that question you brought up earlier, you know. Carmine Core, they've been playing against the Metacomps. How do you deal with something that's a little bit less standard, especially against a team that plays a little bit less standard too? You know, FPX, we've been seeing them play. I mean, they don't shy away from a lot of individualistic plays.
No, not at all.
Shin tucked to the corner. Will he be taken out? Yeah, and dealt with. Winning the showstopper there against the weaker eye.
Yeah, so expensive, but starting to build up to, you know, a Viper's Pit for the next as well. So the ult cycle is still not in a terrible situation, even though they felt it necessary to invest that. They're in a great spot to be able to close this one out too. The weaponry is not great on anyone other than Narek.
Oh, not a player's down with a double face. Autumn.
Highly anticipated.
3 in a round, might be looking for another one. There it is, with the 4th. So
with the classic of all things too.
Steadily building his way back up to his own ult that he just expended. 4-1 here. FPX might be starting to run away with it. Important round coming up now. Take a look at the economy. Carmine Core be able to get some of those rifles online, but they don't have any big ultimates of their own, really. Yeah, I mean, okay, Martin's one away, maybe if he gets a kill, get the showstopper too, but it's imperative, really, that they put a stop to FPX here.
Especially if Lysor starts getting into position to pit on the site. Because we saw that on Icebox, that the pits and the more aggressive post-line positions really messed with KC and the way that they wanted to approach things.
Early fight, here by life.
और यहाँ पे देखने वाली बात होगी, let's see whose teammate first down is either KC or FPX.
Has he got a glimmer of it there,
first
perhaps?
Down is FPX gonna down first or KC gonna down first?
The boombot used from Autumn close to B main as Life forced to teleport away. Autumn has not quite cleared Thomas yet.
Yeah, it was broken. It gave the indicator. It gave the indicator for Autumn.
Great movement to be able to escape.
Really heads up as well. Knowing that the boombot was cleared,
definitely
he's expecting it. He's like, okay, potential there, behind the box tucked. First kill for himself, 50 seconds now. Making the moves over towards the A site. Magnum is here, ready and waiting with the setup. That's the Nanoswarm still. Paranoia goes wide. He's holding an off angle. This is really quite aggressive. And Autumn just offsets the movement ever so slightly enough. Flank around Shin. They weren't expecting that one with the TP, but he's only one man. What can he do? Paranoia glides TP in face.
No way.
No way. No way. Shin. That's monstrous. And Life, he's nowhere near. Sticking this one through. Where's the defuse by not a clue? Still half on it. Life puts him to bed. Puts him to rest.
What a kill to end that! And what a play from Carmine Core! An attempt to try to set that up. And timeout called. That was an enormous investment. I mean, the play that they went for there, Nightfall into the OMEN ult. They had no idea idea that Shin was all the way back there. They had no audio cues. Paranoia, so they have no audio cue on this either. Shin was set up for success. And Life shut it down.
I said at the beginning of the round, that was a pivotal one. Economy going to be reset here for Karmine Corp. Instant timeout called.
Yeah, this is now serious danger. KC unveiling one of their big ideas for how to go for a retake there, or at least to put pressure onto FPX as they were going for the plant. Using a really nice ult combo, still gets stuffed. And Autumn is currently sat 12-3, up at the top of the scoreboard for FPX. Finding so many good timings. His awareness in that round to be able to pick off Tomaji early on. In the previous round, to be able to catch Martin as he went for the double blast pack retake on A. Autumn has been here.
Pride of OCE. Stepping up here onto the big stage.
And so many conversations about, you know, what do the communications look like within FPX, because Autumn isn't super comfortable with only speaking Chinese inside the team, so they're having to do a lot in English too. Is it worth it? Well, if he plays like this, it is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And Life, who was at the top of the scoreboard on Reyna, is still 6-1, barely been punished. Only that one time where he overstayed his welcome slightly on A.
Double control given up, FPX happy to do so. Autumn also one away from his ult.
Yeah, and look at how that round is about to spiral the ult economy out of control for FPX. This ult cycle is getting monstrous.
Magnum, tucked here, has the stinger. Too much util, still finds the kill. Just taking a timing as well, knowing they were going to explode into the side, and he backs away, so... Toss away his life for no reason. Plant.
This is going to be difficult though for Karmine Corp, because they're going to come back into this against potentially big ultimates if Autumn or Lysor are able to get a pick. There are huge ults on the other side. It might have been a good idea to try to stack one of them, the plant.
Yeah, potentially, because Martin's now going to be coming back in. Nade, rebounding, snake bite, ults, offloaded. Thomasy, what a shot, what a shot indeed! The players are toppling here, the rifles matter not. Karmine Corp on display, showing exactly what makes them that #1 seed from EMEA.
And just a bit too passive from FPX.
Thrifty.
Resting on their laurels, not remembering the game plan that they had coming in. And that's our second Mastercard Thrifty of the series, I believe. But from what we'd seen earlier on, when Karmine Corp were fighting aggressive post plans deep into Storm to this, like almost no passive way that you could play this situation, not loading the plan into Lysor or Autumn where you would have a big ultimate to be able to work with. Bit of a misplay, but like I said, the ult cycle is demonic right now for FPX.
Everything online.
They have literally everything, yeah.
That's a rubble fight, not being contested early by FPX, they want nothing to do with it. KC not even really using too much util of their own. Stalemate just to start things off. Life with the tour de force. Open Deacon contact in as a slight gap into the smoke. He was praying that Magnum potentially cross into the sideline.
And Magnum is just holding angles where he would be able to catch people, you know, blast packing in with an ultimate. He's looking to try to catch Autumn in a very non-committed place, Magnum, but one where he can just catch headshot sightlines.
I said flying out towards B. Narrate's going to be calming this. Util.
Not a full commitment though at all, is it?
No.
It's just supposed to feel fakey.
All over the place here, but really there's not too much behind it. Still, okay, Prowler, peek, Martin, what? A shot, the quick scope of Life. Shuts that one down, now the showstopper. All laid out on top of it. Magnum, he's out of there, vacates it, wants nothing to do with it. Side control going to be gained for them. Fight's being lost all over the place here with Thomasy losing that one. Paranoia swinging through, a little bit delayed here, but FPX are the ones that are coming out on top. Kill feed, filling up with red, and that's all they're seeing right now, hunting for the kills. Magnum, lovely shot to the discipline. Shin He's setting the aim just enough, 1v2. Does he still choose to make a go of this?
He's worried about those aggressive timings that FPX like to take. Fear in his heart, causing this to be a retake. Sorry, a save. Meaning that KC are in a hole right now. In a whole lot of trouble. FPX still with some big ultimates that they didn't feel incentivized to use there. We were watching that fight happening over towards the defender's side spawn. Actually, the big deaths happened in Waterfall.
Yeah.
Those are kills that I think either happened over the top of or through a smoke, and obviously that first pick is massive. But yeah, just as that smoke was about to bloom, it's a one-way actually from Berlin. That's so nice.
Interesting ideas.
Lovely idea. And not something that KC was set up to deal with. It is an attack-sided map from everything that we've seen, but FPX here are looking so much more successful than they did on Icebox.
One-ways exchanged, Berlin. Looks like it could be playing into a deeper angle, potentially even inside the one-way, but...
FPX previously, when they had Ayoung's ult online, did end A. They expected it to only be one player there. It was Magnum with an Odin. And now Ayoung looking to make his way towards A again. But Berlin with the spike on B. So there's a serious potential that this becomes an A fake with the Gecko ult into a B pivot. That's going to be challenging for KC to deal with.
I think it depends on the success of these A players. Berlin does have the ult tucked away to reposition to A if they are going to find a kill, but no. All broken wide. Paranoia was sent flying a bit prior here, and they've put players into 4 positions with Lysor be attempting the backstab.
Weird though, because that means no pit available on site.
Lockdown. Close forwards here with a Thrash. They want to seek to try and fight this one. Really far back positions. Can they deal with it? Magnum nails it with a detainment. There's 2 players there. They can't actually enter the fight, but really, they've done the damage here with the bodies. Nothing to break this lockdown whatsoever. Life was being pressured onto that position. Once more detainments across the board. Narrate sticking forwards here. Sees half on the board. Magnum really just seeking to delay. He's got his teammates back. Ayoung forcing out the wingman. Horn drops down, rebounds half on it. Really needs to swing wide. Magnum needs to shut it down. Not even necessary. It's Carmen Core with the win in that round. Salves that 3rd one.
Really important round for KC to be able to get on the board. But I like the ideas actually from both teams. Sure, we didn't see the pit on the site, but we did see them save that Thrash for a post-plant situation to try to challenge the lockdown. Unfortunately, the fights just simply didn't go their way. Magnum being able to pick up both of them in that situation is just enormous. If he hadn't picked up both, there's a great chance that FPX are able to push forwards, get the kills, break the lockdown, and it's a round done and dusted.
A lot of aggression out towards A Rubble now. Well, okay. Deep Horn just tagging up there onto Lysor. Couldn't stand his ground there, and even life traded. Taken out. Paranoia to set that one up, jumping up into their face. Shots going wide. It's the weaker weapon, so it should just be an easy job finishing them up.
1 enemy remaining.
Strenuous. There's a rifle gained here for Berlin.
He doesn't have the spike.
No, he was hoping to just TP himself out of there and doesn't win the fight out. So, a real rapid one in round 10.
But now FPX rifles back on board. And this is where the ult cycle has declined a little bit here for the attack side team. But they haven't really been able to find use out of this pit. It's been the one big ultimate, actually, that they haven't used at any point. They're going to take a timeout here, discuss what the round game plan should be. I feel like the game plans have been good from FPX.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, apart from that one round, was it round 7, I believe, where they just played a little too passively. For the rest of it, they've been up, aggressive, in Carmen Core's faces, forcing the duels, utilizing nice pieces of utility like the one-way on C, the Thrash to push the lockdown over towards B as well.
They're really proactive calls being made by an FPX team that, honestly, I thought were going to be riddled with these communication issues, you know, having to really translate twice, you know, Berlin having to talk and describe these game plans throughout. It led to the macro game of FPX looking a bit weak. I mean, Magnum pointed it out. We've said it many times now over the course of the series. But that hasn't really been the case. I mean, they have been rapid in terms of the way they've been pressing the issue, forcing KC to react to them. And it's been by hair's breadth, really, in terms of KC being able to win some of these rounds out. Maybe they can even it out. Maybe they can make it 6-6 here. Timeout is being taken by FPX because they're feeling that struggle now to hold on and maintain this lead that they've gained.
KC have also, I think, found it a little difficult to tell exactly where FPX have been moving around the map. Because they're playing quite far back, I mean, they're pushed forward in like B main at the beginning of the rounds, that kind of thing. But generally speaking, Common Core are taking a more passive approach to the defense, relying on those good retakes. And that's giving FPX a lot to work with. Here we see KC start the round with 3, ready to play around a rubble. A very classic setup here on the defense.
Just a one-way used. Berlin, hoping they hear the sound cue of that one. Viper's Pit dropped down in through C.
And Narrate actually saved all of his Fade utility. Didn't throw any for the rubble fight at the beginning of the round. They're not worried about that area of the map. KC have maintained control of it at the start. And now you can see both teams saving a lot of their utility. They're expecting KC to play passive, and they're also not really fighting rubble, so both teams coming into the mid-round here with tons to work with.
Just conserving everything. A lot of contact plays online. Re-clearance of rubble is called. Snakebite and a nade combo is excellent, but no players ready to receive. Still, it gives them the space. Haunt really actually catching on to a few of these players. They're lucky to be alive, backing away. Meanwhile, out through B, that's a trade from Ayang, and even more so.
Oh, that's wild.
He's ripped away Narate's head.
And he's just swinging through an Anaswarm there as well. He's opened the round up so wide for FPX. Looking to try to get another, and he does. Ayang's been such a beast in this series so far.
Hit dropped down. Berlin's watching for it. He can hear it, the rumbling of the footsteps. That is 7-4. You're exactly right, Josh. I mean, Ayang has been a difference maker.
Like I said, Narrate didn't use a Prowler, a Seize, a Haunt, whatever, at the start of the round. But he did Prowler B main, and he found out that there was a Lurker there. But he thought it was only one. Magnum is about to pull out his turret after killing Life there, because they are so convinced there would only be one B Lurker. They're getting caught off guard by the unconventional way that FPX are playing, and it creates moments like that, where KC have an assumption that is wrong, and it bites them in the ass.
The money is just
Yo, Blacksy bike.
absolute
Yeah,
bargain
let's
bin
play
purchases for Common Core.
now. Why not go?
Working with scraps in the final round of the first half. It's led to them to make the decision, really, to just give up C. I mean, they went aggressive towards B main early, hoping that they could maybe get a favored fight, taking it with the numbers that they've got. But
guys, जिसने like नहीं करा ना stream को जल्दी से like करो यार.
Space given and granted for FPX out towards C mound.
Tap
And Ayang picks up his
right
ultimate.
corner, right side 3
So FPX
dots
really
पे
happy
click
to work
करें,
the map.
आपको like button pop up हो जाएगा.
This
तो
is
make
looking
sure
like
आप
another one where they
press
fake it.
Okay.
Bit of a feint over towards C. Now opening the door, putting pressure on Magnum here.
Pulls out that trap play setup, this wall tucked behind it. Magnum, maybe he could do something about it. Nightfall here, forward sound cues missing, taken away. Plant still online for it. No, he's just spotted. Everybody watching towards the wall, but that is a nasty shot by Tomazy. And through main, would have blocked that angle up. Actually, might just be through to Smoke here. Oh, sound cues. Life is really just going to rely on his aim. Smoke finally blooms and blossoms to cut off these available players, but guess what? That flank of Lysor is coming in right from the side. Tomazy sticking, half already, has to get off of it, has to get the kills, but not expecting it. The full wrap around and an 8-4 finish for this opening half.
Very nice ending there from FPX. Good way of adding extra layers into that. And a very competent attack side on a map where KC have been very dominant in EMEA. It's an attack-sided map in general, so don't count out the European squad from being able to make a comeback happen. But the pressure is now firmly on them.
Send it down to the analyst desk to break it down.
Thank you very much, guys. It is a great half and a nice start from FPX here. But let's take a look at a Verizon high-speed moment of the match, because this one goes to Shin. And what a play this was, Mimi.
Yeah, it was impressive, right? But this round started off so good for FPX. They got a huge advantage, and then Shin, I mean, just incredible instincts to get behind instantly on this TP and almost win it. But he did lose the round in the end, and that's the story of this half. It is FPX up 8-4, and for me, this was a very different FPX from map 1. It wasn't defined by life going crazy, by these super aggressive pushes in the late round. It was instead them playing really good fundamentals, starting off normal 1-3-1, pressuring the extremities, and then late rounds making really good reads and actually outcalling Magnum to get ahead.
Yeah, I think they outmentaled the plan that K-Corp originally had for this map. If we look at the Viper wall that they were using from the attack, it differs completely from what we see in EMEA. We were talking about the Odin, Thomasy going crazy on that. It doesn't hold a lot of value if that position is not going to be held by them.
But this does get risky in the second half. This map, as the casters were highlighting, it's a lot harder to defend on, even with FPX having this lead. And I think on this defensive side as well, this is where we really get to see what this team is made of. They have to be on top of these rotations, because Karmine Corp is the team who's really good at selling these little fakes, at playing into the right site in the mid round, and then having super strong post plants.
Yeah, it is a healthy lead, but a pistol could change everything as we head back into the second half. With your casters, it's Brandon Saito.
So for Karmine Corp, I mean, backs against the wall with this one. Hefty lead for FPX. Look, keep it going with the pistol.
Look at this pistol round buy. It's really interesting, actually. We've got 3 players with sheriffs online. Shin on attack side OMEN has bought 1 smoke and a teleport. So he's clearly planning to get value out of that as part of their pistol strategy. But if they're going to end B here, that means that they're only going to have 1 smoke. They're going to fight heaven aggressive with the Viper wall.
Oh, again, trying to disrupt this one. FPX cracked open the wall out towards C, trying to double face this one, but they've gotten deep into heaven. Karmine Corp. There's the second protocol, just leaping, boundless man, jumping straight into the face of Ayang, and he can't withstand that kind of pressure. Into Link now, Paranoia. Sent flying, corners cleared, making sure they're there with the diligence. Nade rebounding, but Magnum holding down the ground, forwards. It's the approach, but again, there's just nothing to deal with this guy. He's just rattling off shots. Left, right, and center, straight from main. Finally smoked off. Berlin diffusing. Half, sticking, hello, gets off of it, but now damage is done. Snakebite tap, they've got to realize this now, surely, with the time cues, but they all collapse in time. Karmine Corp, the pistol round win.
I thought there was a little bit of danger there. Turns out, Thomasy, he had his orb and a snakebite on the plan. So not too much danger. Berlin was maxed out at only being able to get half on the spike. This is the play, though, that really wins them the round. They're not just fighting heaven aggressively with the Viper wall. They're planning to swing through their own Viper wall to be able to hard clear out anybody that was looking to try to play retake in that area. Great pistol round strategy. Well cooked up by KC. Gives them a chance.
A lot of util going to be expended here by KC. Give some control towards a rubble, but a stack of 4 players are going to be meeting them pound for pound. Yes, they don't have the weapons, but they do have the util, and look at that, Dizzy connection. Which way is the fight going to go? Paranoia blinded up, FPX! Could have gone in any direction, but eventually, it's the Bulldogs that carried them through it.
Yeah, after that initial wave of utility, got the first 2 kills for FPX, they just couldn't quite hold on. As soon as the KC players could see, they shot back.
Last player standing.
And Life tries to make the play there, shut down. All down to Berlin. We've seen some outrageous situations from Berlin so far in this series. He's managed to pick up a Bulldog. But I think this would just be a little too much. He's gonna need a freebie.
Karmine Corp haven't really been offering too many of them. As an option, though. Magnum's just jiggling the corner out towards Link. Berlin making sure to clear everything before he starts the approach now. 1 smoke, 2 smokes. Freshly rejuvenated.
He's found a timing past Magnum, but he's set up a crossfire. This triple setup is so strong.
You just don't win it. There's too much to account for. Too much to account for. So, 3 players surviving here for Karmine Corp. 3 rifles to carry into the bonus.
The Bermuda Triangle post-plant setup, you ain't getting out of that one.
No, you can't do it. Can't do it.
So yeah, this is going to be a fairly potent bonus round. but not the most that we've seen. There was a little bit of damage there. Also, something to keep in mind, Autumn was 12-3 to begin this map. So you look at where he is on the scoreboard right now, he hasn't been doing too much since that absolutely electric beginning. Bit of a struggle. In order for the FPX to be able to close this out and take their second map ever at a global event, you're going to need big players like Autumn or Life to really make sure that they can close this one out.
Berlin trying to make the most of the Odin spam. Well, that util was used just to set Shin up into a forward position through rubble. Now the second wave is going to be used early on here. I mean, talking a minute 20. Now, Carmen Core could look to try and go all the way back over towards A. Berlin. He's going to get pushed out into the open. He's going to get pushed out into the open!
I mean, the Berlin moments.
Oh my! Berlin, what are you doing?
They are wild.
Oh no, I can feel it, the danger zone. And it's there. FPX now forced to try and do a lot more. Ayang out wide into the open. Lysor, he's found his straggler up onto the opposite side of the map, but really the damage is done. Life has to make a go of it. Wall fades, no one accounting for it. Spike dropped down, he's brought this into a 2 versus 2. Definite chances here for him.
Serious opportunity for FPX to be able to recover this. Oh, that's a ton of damage onto Life, though. The Odin spam perfect, but he might have distracted for Lysor to find a timing.
What happened to backside? Shin is just on top of the ropes, man.
That's a bonkers play to go for.
जीत पाएगा FPX को हरा के अगर केसी का ही जीत गया तो फिर थर्ड मैच नहीं होगा.
How do you cut up these angles? How do you find the right fights? How do you isolate them?
round.
It's not even Shin tucked up there.
Deciding
There's a player
round will
ready
not
to
happen
swing.
अगर केसी यहाँ पे
Thomasy,
जीतता है. ये
dynamic duo.
वाला
Should have been more dangerous than that, actually, for Karmikor.
ये वाला
Shin somehow
match
manages
अगर
to
केसी
make
अगर
that one
जीता
look
तो फिर
easy by pushing with
कोई
an
वो
Odin
नहीं
into
होगा.
heaven.
लेकिन अगर
But it's the player on the other side. It's Shin's opposite, Berlin, who just threw the round away so early on. This is an anti-bonus. You have an economy advantage to clear the round out, and he just wanders out through the rotating door. It's the kind of play that you should never be going for. And I think he just got completely lost with what was occurring there. Didn't think that KC were committed to rubble whatsoever. And we've seen a few moments from him throughout this series. He's matched the big round-winning plays with those kind of moments where he loses the plot a little bit.
Certainly has. Interesting play by FPX here on the half-buy, eco, whatever you want to call it. They throw a ton of utility at a rubble and they over-rotate immediately, so they have the stack. They're trying to force Karmikor right into them. They're going to get their wish granted. Martin can't see anything yet with the Phantom in his hands, making sure, working up. Wide face, driving by. One player left standing, it's Autumn.
भाई पूरा का पूरा नीचे से ऊपर तक आ गया. मैं कह रहा हूँ.
Feels his position. Earns a kill because of it.
भाई अकेला रेस भाई एक देखो
any more danger in this.
भाई 3 लोग बचे हैं अपोनेंट टीम से जिसमें से एक की एचपी कम है 2 की एचपी कम है तीसरे की 4 लोग
KC should be able to rely on their discipline to get them through this one. No problem. The time's an issue. Autumn's been stuffed into a corner. Has no idea that these two players are so close.
He's getting bullied. Lunch money taken.
भाई इधर 2 लोग खड़े सामने एक बंदा खड़ा. अब देखने वाली बात होगी क्या ये बंदा निकाल पाएगा. ओ नहीं.
So 8 to 8.
No,
and not only 8 to 8,
मुझे लगा था
Karmikor now actually
ये
favoured in my opinion because I talked about it on the attack side for FPX. The ult cycle is just monstrous. Look at what they're starting to get up to. Nightfall, lockdown, available. Those are going to start to build up. The pit and the showstopper. This composition has so many tools to be able to chain stuff together on the attack side.
One enemy remaining.
Beauty.
And this now might be a little too late for FPX. They had their opportunities early on in this half to make it dangerous for KC. Round 15, round 16, getting that stack that you called out too, and yet weren't able to convert on them. Now they need some hero plays. Because if you just look at things, all things being even, an attack side map where KC is starting to get big ults online, with the quality of this team, FPX should be in the squeeze right now. So they are going to need somebody to step up.
That's why the timeout's called. Honestly, maybe just reining Berlin in a little bit might help. But it hasn't been costing them too much, just that one round that just sticks out in my mind, of course, when he donated over the Odin.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you have those round losing plays in big situations, they're actually worse than the round winning plays that you get in some other spots. And when we think back to Icebox, one of the worst parts for FPX was that they were only winning 43% of the time when they were up a player, when they were 5v4, when they got the first pick.
I mean, speaks volumes, I think, about Karmicor's ability to turn situations like that, but also for FPX, I mean, that is...
They were tossing some of those situations.
It's pretty dire, isn't it, not being able to convert.
With things like going for those mid-round reclears and trying to take possession of the round even though you were up players. It's a very risk-positive play style that FPX have, but they can bite them. This is where you gotta try to take the risks though, I think. You can't just sit back and allow KC's ults to come at you.
For a little cacophony of util, used to try and clear out towards the C site. Shin's ult just being offloaded here, so...
Looking to try and put pressure on anybody who might be anchoring into the site. They would have been deafened. Shin might have been able to get huge value out of an ultimate there. But they're not overstepping themselves and overreaching. FPX are now going to be in a retake with life, opping, no ults to work with.
And this lockdown. Precise time used here. Ults, util, paranoia, but it really doesn't do enough damage to clear this one out. So FPX forced to run away, tail between their legs.
Yeah, the mosh, the nade, none of it finding value.
Time now becoming an issue. Here comes the approach. Satchel's in, Dizzy's there, but Wingman follows it up, stunned up. Well, cosmetic in nature. FPX still. All here now. Shin, last one left. Having a defuse. They're watching for it. They knew he was there. Barely enough at the time.
And what a retake from FPX. They hit the commit button and they won all of the aim duels. And they'd already used such big pieces of utility too.
How did they win now when a retake went off?
It's wild. I mean, look, no paranoia, no nade, no mosh. Just being able to win the raw fights, particularly those kills against Martin and Tomasi there, being massive difference makers. Head in hands for Zeish. That was a round that KC were expected to win and did not. Big ultimates used too. It's broken their ult cycle.
What a time to do it for FPX. Same opening for Karmicor. Out towards C now. Lysor. That is... The snake bot going to be using... Wow, okay, just spamming straight through. That's one way to clear the pit. If he didn't get it, at least Martin with a showstopper might have.
And I say broken the ult cycle, but Martin being able to enter the showstopper and Tomasi being able to get the pit online as well. They're fighting tooth and nail for this. Making sure that they don't get pushed into an uncomfortable spot.
Real uncomfortable though is the retake. How do you choose to take this one? The pit blocking off all the avenues out towards Waterfall. Thrash might be the answer here for Ayang. Berlin can't work his way through that one way. A lot of util being used to try and push them back, but look at how difficult this is. I mean, you're just clearing one section of the ult. Detained. Did catch, I believe, the one clearing through. Need the guns, at least with the fight. It's Magnum. Just dominating that one angle. Looks to really just step towards them now when he spots the final few players, and Berlin's out of there.
Oh, what a response from Karmicor. Kept it simple, used the ultimates, got themselves a round win. And that builds up the economic safety net that they have.
Yeah.
But now it's 9-9 with all of the big ultimates starting to try favor FPX. You know, it's going to be a while before Karmicor have those to rely on to be able to string around together like that. It does feel like Lotus is very based on what ults you have online. FPX, economy disadvantage. But it might not feel like that if you end up running into life. KC just looking like they want to focus on mount control into the C hit.
It's the same hit over and over again. The deep smoke that Shin places down, everybody plays inside of it to dodge any attempt of a flash repeat.
And this feels like they're just punishing the lack of the killjoy on the other side.
Yeah.
They're not worried about running into life.
They're scrimming, man. Practicing the C execs.
Very much so.
Autumn does have his ult. Needs to stay alive though. If he wants to use it in this, any chance of it. A tap from the rate with the spike. They are trying to force out at least some util, maybe the ult out of them. Now sticking and committing into it. Ground setup. Backing them away with the rifles here. Karmicor, it is quite passive position, just giving up basically the back section of the site.
Does Autumn choose to ult? Down 4v5.
Would be a crazy one. That's essentially a solo swing there from Lysol. Not really set up for it. Life onto the flank. Lambot notifying the team of his position. There's not too many more pieces left for FPX to do anything about it.
And these last 2 rounds have been just what the doctor ordered for KC. It was looking on a nice edge that it could spiral out of control, and instead they've kept it so clean, only that 1 round going the way of FPX. And at this point, FPX are going to have to try to come up with a different way of holding on to C. You look at how Karmine Corp are taking mound control at the start of the round. Shin throws a smoke, they get a teleport into the smoke, they have double faces in case anybody's playing aggressive. They can use Fade utility there as well, Prowler when they get in. It's all very rigorous. Look, there's the smoke that you can see. Martine's inside of it instantly. They can swing out of this in a variety of directions, avoid any dizzy. If there's paranoia, they can hide inside the smoke. You know, creates that little safe beacon, safe haven for them to play around.
Next match between Jin and the Loud.
But they haven't neutralized the danger on the opposite side of the map.
No, looking for a re-clear here, but it's a high-low setup. Safety, at least for some of the players. Now, so I'm going to respect that one. Berlin dropping down. Nightfall now being used to clear. In the midst of all of this chaos, Berlin, man, he was setting up another one-way smoke. Still with the rifle traded. Shin rips that one away from him. 50 seconds left. Quite efficient. The attack side around here for Karmine Corp. Plenty of time left if they want to take a pivot.
But the problem is, the more the time ticks, the more Autumn's ultimate becomes a game changer. You do not want to get in a situation where you're trying to exec with only 25 seconds left and there's a showstopper on the other side. KC hoping that any stack over towards C would have been dismantled at this point because of all of that rubble pressure.
Feels like they're going to be pivoting into a B, A to B almost, with them opening the door up, but
high-low.
Set everybody out towards C, and the players, they're running away, but they hear it jumping around. Autumn, it's popped off the old high-low setup, not expecting it. The rate's already there, Dizzy avoided, but no, just catching onto him. 15 seconds left, has to deal with this player. He's got the spike in his hands, no teammates. Nowhere near at all. He's got to try and force this fight out. The Ray wins it.
There's
8 seconds. He's going to get this plant down. And it's being covered. Surely no spam. He does. An extension into the round.
Monstrous from the Ray. He's 22 and 11 in the map so far and trying to win this round almost on his own, waiting for the cavalry to arrive.
Horn spotting it, avoiding it. The bullets hailing down onto it, but his head just peeking out and over. No, Ray can't be stopped, man.
It's just disgusting. The Des was talking about like his gecko mode, like his fade. Ray is out here dumpstering people.
No matter what he plays.
Playing like this flex initiator role. Sometimes we'll see him on Duelist, and you can see why when you look at this guy's talent. So many duels here that weren't favored, where it looked like an FPX player had caught him.
Oh, Marshall. Marshall, can you look at me for a second? Oh my.
Yeah, Shin's happy about that one.
Madrid.
This time Karmine Corp setting the sights over towards A.
And the push out C from FPX, they knew they had to change something up. And now Magnum's got the read on it. All right, so they were aggressive on C, let's try and push it into A fast.
What is that? Spam through, catch onto Berlin. Didn't stand a chance there. They catch the C push yet. Magnum is watching for it, knowing that.
Another duel though, where Lysol could have found the timing. And instead, the Karmine Corp player comes out on top, readjusting the aim.
It's fallen to pieces. Ayang makes a good go of it there. Looks away 2 of them, but not enough to withstand the pressure. All the players there now. Deep push from Life. It's the last one left. Hold up. Rotations. Players. Oh, it's a timing game. It's a timing game. Shin's seen the barrel. He's seen the barrel, and he takes care of him. 12 rounds. Now game for Karmine Corp. 1 step closer to taking the series entirely.
An 8-4 half. And as soon as KC get onto the attack side, navigating danger, putting together some excellent rounds. Chaining ults, punishing the C defense, reacting correctly too. And a reminder, yeah, we thought that this would be one of the least even matchups on paper. FPX came into this one hoping to be able to get at least a map, maybe a match win, show the global stage that they were capable of so much more than they've done in the past. Now they're one round away from getting knocked into the bottom portion of our Swiss stage.
Face your fear!
High fall, suspended once more. Prowler connecting, Magnum holding, watching. What is that by Autumn?
Those are amazing.
Hell of a time to come alive. This team definitely needed it, and the kills are just being collapsed upon. Shin has got his ult, picks up the spike, repositions now, but guess what? Berlin might be one step ahead. He's running his way back over towards A, anticipating this kind of reaction. A plant, though, won't be pushed back. So Shin has a chance to close the case entirely. 1v2, Ayang. That's the ult, a lot of util. Shin reveals his position. Thrash. Bunny hops online. Wide swing and face there. Paranoia repositions out wide to the side. Shot connects. Snaps to it. Shin will not find it.
I have no idea how my chat is stuck.
Alive for now in the map. As Ayang is the one to do it.
My chat is stuck there right now.
What a recovery in that round for FPX to find 4 kills off the back of Guardians.
My chat is stuck there.
2 players, the 2 star players, Autumn and Light, just being able to pop. Those initial kills though, Autumn, again, I keep wanting to mention, he was 12-3 at the beginning of this map. He's still only got 17 kills. If he can wake up, FPX can still bring this to overtime. The big heavy hitting firepower from FPX has got to come online now when they need it most. Otherwise, KC are going to win this series.
First time we're seeing a bit of aggression on the defensive side here from Life. Horns dealt with, smoke forward, so many positions to look for here, but a Boombot now, look at the levels to it, the layers to it. Boombot Prowler, you have to respect it. Rendezvous back now, and here comes the C hit. Pressure there. Martin was vulnerable up. There was a nanoswarm at his feet, but now does a snake bite to try and respond. And a flood defense by FPX is caught. Dizzy missing wide, facing Lysor. He's got his 2 there. The rate is eager to take the challenge straight to them. He's eager to put an end to the entirety of this series, but a spike has been dropped into the middle of nowhere.
That's the big problem now. Extraction is the name of the game. KC, Magnum's trying to cause some chaos, see if he can pull people away from the C site, threaten some kind of wild lurk, but would they really push through Waterfall here to retrieve the spike? Or is it all a fake?
Subterfuge being thrown into the mix. There's a Haunt to clear the way, but Berlin is back up onto the space, into the angle, an essential kill, but it goes missing. And now Waterfall control is theirs. Autumn is there with a crosshair placement. And White now have to deal with these players. Carmine Core! It's all down to 1v1. And this is it. Again, continuation of the series, or will it be that slam at dunk? Thomasy wraps it around, 20 seconds left. Spike still not retrieved. Thomasy! He finishes the job on their feet before you know it. And it's a 2-0 wrap to the series for
yeah,
opening match of Madrid.
That's a great way to get the nerves settled early and showcase that you can do it on the biggest stage, the global Masters stage. These players with such small amounts of experience, but such a great system behind them.
Dude,
And passionate fans that are hoping they can go so much further. FPX certainly pushed them, but no map win for the Chinese squad, who still only have 1 so far in these 3 global showings. They'll have more chances. This Swiss system gives them future opportunities as well, though they have no idea who they'll be facing next. You could say that about both these teams, though. Because to be honest, when you look at the other matches that you've got coming up, it is difficult to predict who the favorites are. And just to revisit that topic, Brent, we were saying at the start, this should have been on paper one of the most one-sided matches you could get, and yet we had a 13-8 where things looked very close. We had it wrapped up at 7-7, and then a 13-10 on KC's map pick. Parity may well be the key word here at Madrid.
FPX definitely bringing it and testing it, Carmine Core, but they come out strong. it's a 2-0 actually in terms of that map scoreline as well. And like you said, I mean, a series of unknowns leading into it. They don't know who the next opponent is going to be. It's up in the air. They're going to be paying close attention to these upcoming matches, including the one that we've got coming up even next. That one is going to be a certified banger, man. I mean, Gen.G versus Loud, who knows which direction that one's going to go.
It's impossible to call. KC are going to be so happy, though, that they got that win under their belt early. It's going to give them the opportunity to watch these other games that are happening. They're a team that loves to prep, loves to practice. They were talking about the fact,
of course, for majority of these players, Mimi, they've never even played on a global stage before, and they just 2-0'd FPX.
Yeah, I mean, even like in EMEA, there's a lot of the big matches they were playing. That finals against Heretics was online because the player wasn't there. For them, this match, I think, meant a ton to really get acquainted to that stage, to a bigger crowd, to a new environment. It's a lot of new stuff for these players, and honestly, I think they came out swinging. People can critique that it wasn't the stomp a lot of people predicted, but I think that was people underrating FPX. Like Eng said in that first halftime interview, this team has shooters. They'll catch you off guard. I think they're a real kind of test team that pushes you just enough if you're one of those top squads to be worrying, but it's about how you bounce back, and they absolutely did.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit worried there towards the end. Honestly, I felt like FPX, they might have been able to push them all the way to overtime, but the fact that KC actually closed it out, Mimi, especially for, you know, a player like Madam, who everybody used to harp on him for not being able to close games out, for being a bit shaky in those moments. I think I'm getting on the KC train really early.
Are you bringing back like the 2021 fraudnatic narrative about Magnum?
But I'm saying that that's no more, right? This is a new look, and I mean, we were watching the games. You were telling me, Nare, MVP of the tournament already? Early shout?
I'm kind of feeling it. I mean, reactionary Randall, but this guy just came out and